Welcome to Possibilities.
Possibilities is a program that showcases the talents of persons with disabilities.
It's not the body that does it, but the brain that does it.
Possibilities.
Possibilities.
Possibility.
Hello and welcome to Possibilities. Possibilities is a program where we showcase talents and aspirations of persons with disabilities. It is also a program where persons with disabilities come to share their fears, their stories and encouragement to other persons out there watching. I have been your host, Miss Ave Aki. And in the studio today I have Miss Okachi CYNTHIA, a graduate of philosophy and a disability rights advocate. Miss CYNTHIA is also a person with albinism. Welcome to the studio, Miss CYNTHIA.
Thank you.
Miss CYNTHIA, I must confess you are so beautiful. I like your nose.
Thank you.
And your gap teeth at that. Okay, so Miss CYNTHIA, as a person with albinism, what does that mean?
For albinism?
Yes.
Simply the absence of melanin.
Okay.
Yes.
So, how was your growing up like? And at what age did you discover that you are kind of slightly different from others? Maybe your siblings and the persons around you.
Okay, growing up from the family level, I never even got to know I was a person with albinism that was different from every other person because there was no discrimination at the family level. As a matter of fact, I was meant to do what every other person was doing, you know. So it was when my academic career started, and in primary school, I discovered people would look at me from a different perspective. I couldn't do what others were doing. That's when it dawned on me that there is something these people have that I actually do not have. There is something they could do that I actually could not do. That was when it began to dawn on me that I'm actually very different from every other person.
So your primary level, secondary, how did the children, the classmates, your friends treat you like?
Initially, it starts with they looking down on you. For some reasons, they think they are better because of their skin differences. Okay. It starts with discrimination. I remember sometime in secondary school, this girl would never allow me speak when she's speaking. I mean,
wow.
even you, you're talking, I'm talking and you're talking. I mean, wow. They feel that you're not supposed to speak up. Yeah. Where the black-skinned people are speaking up, and there are things you're not supposed to do. I mean, when you do something and they marvel, even you albino, you can do it. So, at primary school level, I would remember some of my classmates, when they want to go and do something, they say, no, stay here, you know you're an albino, you cannot do it. And this is something I can do more than each and every one of them there. So as they see you, the first instinct or the first notion they have about you is that you're not capable to do things that they can do. And I find it funny anyway.
See, I can imagine, you said secondary school, there was this particular girl, if she's speaking, she does not want you to speak.
Yes.
At that young age.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so the environment back at home, your neighbors, how do they see you? Like, how do they treat you?
Let's say my family made it easy for the people around to get to accept me. Yeah. And believe me, I was a very sweet child growing up, yes. So I was more like loved. But what I noticed that over time, that people love what you can bring to the table. Like I said, I was a sweet child. I had something I was always doing that is exceptional, that makes people overlook my skin color, and they begin to look at my personality, who I was as a child, the things I could do as a child. So, because my family loved me, they dressed me well, they sent me to a good school, they carry me well. So it transfers that sense of acceptance to the people in the compound. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so moving from secondary school to your first degree, I can remember you are a graduate of philosophy. So how was higher education like?
believe me, as I grew, as I advanced, the more challenging it became.
Okay.
Yes, at the university level, first of all, gaining admission was war. There were some courses I really wanted to study.
Okay, courses like
Yes, believe me, the philosophy I chose wasn't my choice.
Yeah, so
It
you
wasn't.
wanted to like
I wanted
courses like what?
medicine.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
but first people were like, how can you go into medicine? You want to forget scissors? And you're not seeing well.
Yeah.
You're not seeing well. I won't train you to go study that course, actually. We don't want you to incur, problem on yourself and the family as well. Friends, they say go for simpler courses where you know you're very good at. Just go there and talk. Go for philosophy. So I forced going into that course and get into an institution where the university I graduated from, it's a survival of the fittest, believe me. It's not like one of those scam universities where it's where you really have to do things, maybe go extra mile to achieve, you have to survive. Yes, and when policies are put up, they don't even consider your skin color. Or I remember when year one, when we were having our medicals, we were supposed to go for this eye check. And the chart was somewhere down there, and I'm here. And if you see the way these people were embarrassing me, it couldn't dawn on them that I, as a person with albinism, I'm short-sighted, and I cannot see that. As a matter of fact, it got to a stage where I walked out. Till today, I never had to do that eye check. And they don't care.
And did you not consider that?
It's not their business.
Wow,
Their business.
That's bad.
You see us going from a particular place for lecture to another place, and I'll have to walk under the sun. No one, it's not their business. So it was really very challenging.
So how, from year one to the finishing, how did you get to manage that?
And I really learned to take care of myself, put in extra efforts. But I had supportive friends.
All right.
Yes, I had supportive friends who understood my plight. So from time to time, I would run to them. If maybe it has to do with seeing the board, not seeing things clearly, maybe inscriptions, and I would always have somebody I go with who would explain things to me, things that I cannot be able to do, places I was not able to go. You see ourselves standing in queue just to pay school fees. I always have to talk to someone, look at my skin, can you just help me? Because believe me, the authorities there, they don't bother about you, they don't care about you. So I had supportive friends that helped me do these things.
And eventually school year was over and service year. How was it like your PPA?
Oh God.
And
oh God. Oh,
engaging yourself in the society on another level. How was it like?
Oh, when I went for youth service, this normal parade we always do.
Yeah.
Then I didn't even know there was something called a sunscreen at that stage.
Okay.
So seeing me standing under the hot sun for hours in the name of parade, after the first day, I couldn't stand. My legs, my face, my hands, everywhere were red. It was reddish. I was in pain. It was a medical doctor who called my attention. Said, no, you don't have to do this. Go to the clinic, take a letter, exempt yourself from these activities. And those military personnel, they didn't even bother. I don't blame them. They're not aware. They're not informed. Yeah. So theirs is come, do what you're supposed to do, what others are doing.
Once you're in the camp, you have to do what you're
yes. So moving into the society, looking for a job, trying to advance my career. If I go into that here,
we won't finish.
we won't finish. But believe me, it has been and it's still very challenging.
Okay.
Where you see, I remember the first place I went to look for a job, the thing was like, it was a teaching sector. I mean, the students will not listen to you. And I was like, why would the students not listen to me? They already believe that once the students see me, they wouldn't. Okay, you think they can listen to you? Enter the classroom. It was like a test. Enter the classroom and talk to them. And I started talking, and they listened to me. Though I wasn't taken, I went somewhere else. And you know why it took me? Because someone with albinism happens to be their English teacher, and she's very efficient. Okay. They say, we don't need to interview you. You albinos, you are very intelligent. We'll take you.
Okay.
And they took me. So even growing, the issue of people thinking that you're not capable, you see employers telling you, we have to spend more to bring you here, to accommodate you. That's one challenge I really encounter.
Okay, so Ms. Cynthia, you are a disability rights advocate.
Yes.
So how have you been advocating for the rights of persons with disability, especially persons with albinism?
Believe me, I started my advocacy from my home, in my street, where I live. Anywhere I go to, any albino person I come in contact, or person with disability that I come in contact, and I see things that are not done properly, I always call the attention of whoever is involved or whoever that needs to have things done.
Okay.
Aside that, I've been working with many disability rights organizations to lend my voice, especially in the area of inclusion for persons with disability and albinism.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's a laudable work you are doing there. So how do you see the disability community? Are you seeing it that in the nearest future, at least, from what it was before to now, how can you weigh it? Is it making a positive impact on the lives of persons with disabilities?
Ms. Eve, you agree with me that there is a change.
Okay.
There is a step higher than what it used to be.
Yeah.
If 5% were informed about disability issues, believe me now, 10% has been informed. And I believe if we keep going further, more people will become enlightened with the way we are going, with support from both local and international organizations and agencies. I think with the way CSOs are going these days, we are going somewhere.
Okay, in general terms, what will you say about the life of a person with albinism in general terms? How easy or how hard it is for a person with albinism in this life to navigate?
This is somebody who is trying to prove to the world that I can be better than you think I am. It's already a challenge. Trying to say extra, do extra, to prove to people who you do not even need to prove anything to, that you can.
Because you owe nothing.
Of course, by rights, as a human, you can do anything. But now they have debunked that notion. You are trying to take care of yourself, and you're also trying to take care of another person's mentality and notion about you.
And I tell you, that is not easy.
It's not easy.
Okay, we'll take a short break. When we're back, we'll continue from where we stopped. Possibilities, and in the studio with me is Miss Okachi Cynthia. She's a person with albinism, and she has been taking us in the journey of the world of persons with albinism. So, Miss Cynthia, before the break, we're talking about how a life of person with albinism is like, especially in Nigeria here. How is it like?
If you look at the structures on ground,
Yeah.
normally, here is my skin, and the sun is my enemy.
Okay.
There are no structural, or there are no policies, or let's say people do not adhere to these policies that protect the rights of persons with disability, let alone persons with albinism.
Okay.
Let me give you an instance. I made mention of when I was in university, and I had to stand in a queue just to pay school fees. Under the scorching sun, I had to stand under the sun simply because I was a COP member, but I had to be active in the parade processes.
Yeah.
But this is not right. I go to a place and I'm expected to see what someone who is long-sighted is supposed to see. And when I ask questions, no one pays attention to me. There is no one a personnel on ground to even explain to those who are short-sighted.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you go to? And if you don't have an aide who can help you, maybe see distance, you get lost out in the process. I remember going for some digital trainings, and I end up coming home without learning anything because there were no magnifiers in the computers, and there were no equipment or tools in place to help, or a particular personnel to assist come to me, knowing that my plight is different from that of every other person out there. Are you talking of the social or psychological mentality of people with albinism, the myths? What you see someone like me walking on the street and children are clapping and shout. Believe me, before I got to this place, I had more than 10 people calling out my Oyibo. I mean, just because of your skin color.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, do people get to call this man or these people every day because they are dark complexioned? So this is our things we have to do with. They are bound, believe me.
I can imagine. I can just imagine. Okay. How about relationship and disability as a person with albinism?
You wouldn't want to go there.
Please, I would want to dive into that. How is it like?
It really takes someone who is inclusively inclined to get to accept you. Most times, you know how it is. A man or a woman wants to please the friends, the family. Most times a man sees you as a lady with albinism, a man sees you and he likes you, but the friends are like, what? You want to go to someone who is... I remember a man coming to me and said, I wanted to come to you, but my friend told me, can't you see the way her eyes is inside her phone? I mean, is it the person you want to go to? You see families rejecting ladies with albinism simply for no fault or sin or offense of theirs, simply because of their skin color. So believe me, our ladies have suffered rejection, have suffered torture and oppression. I have a friend whose husband do maltreat and beat her up. And he'll be like, yes, I mean, are you not happy I married you, I pitied you and I got... They think they're doing us a favor, actually. I remember when I was growing up, my auntie said to me, Cynthia, you select a lot. Don't select too much. You know you're a person with albinism. Anybody that comes, just... I said, no, you don't tell me that. Yes, so relationship-wise.
Oh, so, okay, you have come a long way to be where you are today. Okay, so how about other persons with albinisms, especially the ladies out there? What has been your survival skills? What has motivated you to want to be healed, want to be better, want to keep pushing?
Okay, I was coming to that. I have two nugget there. One is, I am convinced within me.
Yeah.
I know for sure that I am not I'm not incapable as people think I am. So I'm not interested in what you think. I go ahead and do what I know, that I know how to do.
Yeah.
And believe me, over time, remembering that doing my best have given me applause, I keep doing it. Okay. And the second is, how I got to this stage is, I saw people who are like me and who have done better. And they motivate me to do better. And when I do better, I also see people who do not know how to do better, who learn from me. It pushes me to keep doing better.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. So what message do you have for persons with albinism out there? What advice do you have for them?
They know the truth.
Okay.
Look inwards. You know you can do it. You know you are better. Unfortunately, we live in a world where acceptance has become something we have to fight for.
Yeah.
So, fight for yourself by living your best. Do not let what people say or the challenges make you. Let what you feel in your heart to be true, and that is that you're capable. Push you to go for the better. Okay. And believe me, the world will fall at your feet. Yes.
Okay, and how about the disability community as a whole? Where will you want to see it in the nearest future? And what are those things that, if given the opportunity, you want to put in place for the betterment of persons with disabilities?
I will start with the last first. Equality. Okay. Equality or inclusion, especially for women. Women normally, both the disabled and able, are marginalized. So you would think of a plight of a woman with disability. So I think more attention should be paid. If I'm given the opportunity, I would want to pay more attention to the empowerment, mentally, financially, of women with disabilities. And I want the CSOs to come together try to, because it is with one voice
Yeah.
that we can achieve whatever is it you are fighting for. United with one voice, not leaving anyone behind, we will get to where we are going to. Yes.
Okay, so a word to the society out there that discriminates against persons with disabilities. What message do you have for them?
Persons with disabilities are able, just like I will not forget to say, that there is every form of disability in everybody. That thing you cannot do is your own disability. So let's remove our mind from the physical or pronounced disability in people. It shouldn't be a yardstick for judging them or for evaluating them.
You also agree with me that there are some parents out there who tend to hide their words, their children with disabilities. What message do you have for these parents?
I mean, you have your child given to you, gifted, talented, invest in that child, train that child. I wonder if some of our parents do not get to see other children or other ones or people who have become people of substance and they are disabled. That story, their story, should motivate our parents or parents with children with disabilities to also invest in their children, knowing that they can be what the other person is.
And also to friends out there and families out there who discourage their children, loved ones from getting entangled with persons with disabilities, what message do we have to tell them?
There is nothing different between we and you. We are all the same. Discrimination is not good at its own. It demoralizes a person, even as a person with ability, and someone looks down on you, it demoralizes you. Let alone someone who is fighting to come out in the society and you are discriminating. I think what they need is a mentality change, and the message I have for them today is the fact or the notion that everyone is the same and equal. That your eyes, your ears, your skins, your legs does not determine who you are.
Okay, so the Cynthia we are looking at, what plans does Cynthia have for the future? What is Cynthia in the nearest future? What are the plans Cynthia have? What is she doing to be better than how she is right now?
Right now I'm into career counseling.
Okay, wow, that's interesting.
Yes, but I plan to go into rehabilitation.
Okay.
Yes,
Rehabilitation
mental
with
rehabilitation.
persons with
Yes, mental,
or
yes.
disability as
Persons
a whole?
with disability, mental rehabilitation.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're planning to do that, and what steps?
I'm
are you
taking a
taking?
course on it.
Okay, wow, that's
Yes.
interesting.
Thank
That's
you.
interesting.
Thank you.
That's interesting. So, as generally to you, other persons watching this program out there, what is that means that you have to tell them that, okay, you believe that persons with albinism are like this, but this is not it? Because I know there are lots of means around persons with disability and persons with albinism, how persons with albinism are good for ritual purposes and all of that. They say a lot of things. So
There is this funny myth that when you get married or when you're dating someone with albinism and it attracts fortune to you, and this makes us vulnerable to deceitful and fraudulent partners. Someone comes to you not because the person actually likes you, but because the person feels that coming close to you or relating with you gives him or her this fortune. That is, it is myth. It's not true. It's not true. I mean, when you work hard, you make money. No one gives you that fortune. And there is this myth also that when you sleep with someone with albinism, you're cured from HIV. Where do you get that from? There is this about people with albinism that they are a kind of God. I mean, we are humans. If you are no God, I'm no God.
okay.
Yes.
So viewers out there, you've heard it all from Miss Cynthia. all the notions you have about persons with albinism is not true. The negative notions. Persons with albinism are just human like you. Love them, treat them as human, and life goes on. If you fall in love with one of them, treat them as a normal human being. We all deserve to be loved. Miss Cynthia, that's the much we can take on this episode. Hope when next we call you, you will come.
I'll be delighted.
Thank you so much for creating time to be here.
Thank
If you're
you.
out there, this is the much we can take on this episode. I have, you can join us same time, same station on this program. We are open for advert and sponsorship. You can contact us on the numbers on your screen. I have always been your host, Adwe Aki, saying bye-bye for now.